Welcome to 23 Degrees Sideways. It's pretty nice. The weather is changing. The seasons are changing. I'm actually back out. It's pretty nice to do. Vaccine passports. It's blown up. So we know that the idea of vaccine passports is bad, okay? We know that the idea, and there's all these little justifications. So the people on the left who are pushing or defending this, right? They have all these weird little things they call up, like, oh, but the government's just going to coordinate and encourage. They're not going to do it. The businesses are going to do it. So there's no real constitutional issue. These are the same people who want to hold corporations accountable for any environmental damage, bad products. Oh, and they got to pay more taxes. It's kind of funny because the current White House, whoever's running Joe Biden's brain, the current White House has this big, huge thing about selling their plan, their budget, infrastructure, tax plan, based on raising the corporate tax rate. It's like it's a thing. It's a sales point. It's the thing they want. It's not about getting stuff done as much as it is about, see, we're punishing the corporations. But at the same time, it's okay to take away your rights as long as the businesses are doing it, right? And it's really that bad. A lot of people try to defend this because the idea of a passport is that it's for international travel. It's not. It's a travel document. The literal definition of passport is a document that allows you to travel. For Americans, it's very hard to understand this concept, but I've been over in the other parts of the world where people grew up with the idea of a passport to leave your city, to go to another town, to go to another region in your country. Okay, passports. In America, we think of them as international. So people are like, oh, why are you all up in arms about a vaccine passport? Other countries might want to be safe. I'm like, they're not talking about that. They're talking about going to Walmart. Okay, it's actually worse than the Soviet model because they're literally talking about passports, travel documents, things that allow you to go for going to the park. Going to the park. Going to a Shakespeare in the park. Going to Walmart. Going grocery shopping. It's not, going to the DMV, accessing government services. It's not, and the arguments against this, none of the arguments against this are a fundamental freedom argument. They're these little nitpicky arguments. Well, international travel. Well, businesses are doing it. Well, maybe you deserve it. That comes out really fast when you start arguing. You start arguing fundamental right to travel, access to goods and services, universality of denying same. Then they start coming out. You had this. There's this guy. He's a DOJ lawyer. He's also, I guess, a UCLA professor, law professor. But he was a U.S. attorney for several years. He still works for the DOJ. He's a lawyer, attorney for the DOJ, and he's very blatant about this. He's like, this is how we get people who don't want the vaccine to take it. We force them through commerce. Whoa! Okay. Well, I guess that's the government position. You trust that. So then, of course, people bring up the Nazi comparison. Oh my God, this is like the Nazis. And the left goes nuts. There is nothing that the left does that could ever be compared to the Nazis. This is not how you start. Restricting people from commerce because they won't follow the rules is not how you end up with concentration camps. Well, yes, it is. It doesn't matter if they're German or Russian concentration camps. It doesn't matter if they're Turkish or Chinese concentration camps. This is how you start developing your concentration camps. And the current administration, speaking of concentration camps and the way they're handling the border, they're really getting some practice with that. And they're getting some practice getting the media to allow it, to celebrate it, to defend it, and to hide it. Put these things together, okay? You're not allowed to talk about or raise money for the accused, not convicted defendants in trespass cases for January 6th. Why are they trespass cases? Because there was no insurrection and there's no weapons charges and there's nothing there. Well, you're still not allowed to talk about it. You're not allowed to raise money for them, for their legal defense. People get canceled. People get pulled off of the media. You say, oh, well, they're bad people. Ben Shapiro should be next. That's the answer you'll get from the left and from Blonde. Okay. You put these things together, denying banking services, okay? There are now a lot of banking services that are denying certain behaviors. You're not allowed to do things, perfectly legal things, okay? Usually it involves legal sex work, guns, all sorts of different weird things. It's not all left versus right, but sex and guns are the big ones. They're the really big, easy ones, and drugs. Legal drugs included. But you can be denied banking just because of political views now. That happens. And the left side kind of defends it. The left celebrates it. The media claims that they are being victimized when someone calls them out for advocating that people should have their GoFundMes canceled because they're part of the Capitol insurrection, right? Put these things together with the idea of a vaccine passport. Put it all together. And yeah, it's a recipe for camps. Look at the people who are defending the vaccine passports. Look at what they're doing. Okay? It's just like the corporate tax thing. They're not defending. They're not positive. They are attacking. Well, I want you to go away. I want you to be dead. I want you to not exist. I hate you. You're a horrible person. That's their defense of vaccine passports. It's another step closer to putting people in camps. It's a hate-based defense. It's not a positive defense. And then the truth, the pravda of the vaccines and the vaccinations changes from day to day. If it's popular, then, vaccines, you still have to mask, you still have to separate, you still have to isolate, you still have to lock down because mutations, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden the vaccine passport thing becomes an issue and people are noticing. So, no, vaccines are perfectly safe now and you can't carry the virus. And then 2 days later, we don't actually have any data on that. It's possible you can still carry the virus and infect people just because the storm blew, right? Pay attention. Have more than 3 minutes of freaking attention. What do you do? Bjorn Andreas Bull Hansen from Norway, he's talking about how, it's time. You're part of the resistance. Time to fight. I'm pretty there. I mean, I've been there for most of my life, that's just, I'm kind of a professional dissident. It's a vocation for me. What do you do is participate in alternate economies. It's usually what it really boils down to. Because I think that's the big thing, is economics for this. Most people are going to end up doing the passport just because of the economic benefits. So, economics. I think that's the big deal. You got to create your alternative economies, and you have to be kind of comfortable with that, which also means getting back to a lower debt, having backup money, being able to survive for a couple of months with random income or purchasing capabilities. We need to get back to a different kind of preparation world with that, because it's not the end of the world society, guy out in the mountains with a gun. It's knowing that you can survive not being allowed to go to the store for a month. You know, having that network of people where when the supplies come in from the farm that's undocumented, you know how to buy and sell and transport, because it's just black market economics. Americans got to get good at it. This is going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, vaccine passports suck. It's a major, major step towards complete totalitarianism. And the people defending them don't defend them with very good reason. They're not talking about arguments of liberty or how to manage liberty or how to make it the best possible thing. They just hate you and want you to go away. That's how you get camps. Stay sideways.